like herb, and when I pull to the curve, it's like, when I pull to the curve, it's like. And my greatest, my greatest. When you hear this song, you know it's on, baby girl. When you hear this song, you know it's on. Oh, my latest, and my greatest, my latest, my greatest. When you hear this song, you know it's on, baby girl. When you hear this song, you know it's on. When I'm laying in the back of a 745, with my lips on you, been good game. Lord smoke to the wood grain, in the brain like a hustler should. A hustler would. Check the paper till it's said and done. She steady running through my head alone. What that do? In the middle of the index of love, baby girl, you just got me sprung. What that do? Oh yeah, she's one of the best that I touched in my past 10. I'm hurting, lurking, searching for the merchants. Cause I know my baby girl is working. To the end of the road, she's smoking. When her hands to the zip lock totally. It's like Teddy Penny grab, but she want an autograph. But the sex is close in.
Open back up, last time. Cause the little duck open mine. She's just like one of us. No seats, no stairs. This just like top of the line. Perfect when I drop in her. I'm on the road again. I'm about to go.
Good morning, good morning. Oh yeah. So could you hear the music? Apologies. I didn't know it could hear the music. Oh, that's weird. Put it back on, please. Yeah, back when Kanye wasn't weird. How's everybody doing? Happy Friday. If you have not figured it out, I'm in a very, very undisciplined, lazy mood. So it's like 85 degrees here, and I keep looking out the window, just wanting to bolt. Oh, oh boy. Okay. I guess we have to get to work, huh? Hey Raj, how you doing? How was the drive? Alrighty, okay. We have to work. Oh, welcome to the Trading Syndicate, everyone. I'm JJ. And say what you will about market profile, but man, those single prints, they work. And let me just get into this. We had two distributions yesterday, right? Two distributions, one here and then one up here, separated by these things called single prints. So when the market cracked this level, there's a bunch of people who are short here, and they all tried to cover in the overnight. Now, overnight inventory is still short because probably 60-70% is still underneath the close. Being that it's Friday and there is sort of a business tradition to mark up the close, be careful if we start getting over 76.01. Okay. The next swing high, excuse me. Make it 76.05. If we take out 76.05 and get accepted, we'll be looking for 76.31 on the upside. Okay. Just so you know, that's our target. So far, the liquidating inventory from that sell-off and then this test of the sell-off, every time we drop prices, no matter what the news is, somebody steps in and buys. A horrible drive? Oh, that's not good, Raj. That's not good. Yeah, I think I got 4 and something. We're in the same cul-de-sac. How are things in Rye, LC? Wheels up at 4? Oh man, you don't live in Rye anymore. Yeah, but I'm always gonna pretend you do. Hey, Moran, how you doing? Okay, the joke that we're doing, there's this guy called Private Equity Guy, and he makes fun of private equity people. And he has this bit where he's from this country club in Rye, New York, where Elsie is from. And so I always bug Elsie that he's like this country club kid. Going riding on the weekends. So in overnight inventory, we get any move down. We're looking for our overnight low at 68.5. Yesterday, I told you guys, not to sound like an I told you so kind of guy, but yesterday at the close, I said, look above and fail of 75.88, and I said down to that 75.70 level, and that's where the trade, it took a while, but it hit that and then bounced. Now we're futzing around 88. Here's the thing, folks. If we take out 88, if we take out these 90s, just be careful because this thing could pop. And it's kind of a market that could pop when you're not looking for it to pop. You know, like earlier, somebody on the 1 minute, there was a news little thing, right? There was a thing from the news or something caused this big, massive 1 minute candle. And it's just boom, boom. Be careful. You can see, my friends, check this out. You can see the bid was down here. Come on. You could see the bid was here. Then the bid moved up here, and now the bid is here. Do you see how the bid is moving higher? It's because sellers don't have to put it on sale. That's what you guys would call a trend line, right? You lived on the servant street in Rye. So you didn't have your own pony? The funniest is when the private equity guy is trying to buy a horse. And he's like, how much for the pony? I brought my riding shoes. Can I ride the pony? It's just ridiculous. It's funny because when you talk to private equity people, they kind of do talk like that. Elsie did not have a pony. Sorry. Okay, it's if I gotta get to work. This is bad. I'm being very irresponsible. Oh, why don't we all just go to the beach? You retail traders never know how to take a day off. Institutional guys, I wouldn't have to ask twice. I'd go, you guys want to go to the beach? Boom, we'd be at the beach. Any excuse not to work. This level here, just from looking at it, let's see what it is. 75, 91, 92. There's been sellers here all session, right? From midnight tonight, there's been a seller at 75.92. We popped above it and back down in like 30 seconds. So let's see if we open above or below 75.92. Very curious. Oh. So we're going to open inside yesterday's range and value or cost basis. Here comes that 92 area again. Yeah, there's two finance parody accounts on Instagram that are hilarious. One is the Swiss Chris, and the other one is this guy, Tony, who does the private equity guy. The Swiss guy is hilarious because he's just like those guys on Wall Street. Hey, Lear, how you doing? Happy Friday. Okay. I haven't even gone and looked at equities today. Curious to see if Apple can stay above 313. It's about 4 times cost basis. Tesla is range bound. How's Space Invaders here? 151. Oh, Microsoft under 398. Maybe a look below and fail of 327 on Microsoft. I still have to do like a quarterly roundup now that we've had a week of trading. I should do that this weekend. Okay, you guys in the room, you awake? Ready to trade? Or did you guys all make all your money in Globex and start drinking or something? Mostly awake. It's kind of slow right now. It's creepy. But already I can tell that they don't, the sellers are starting to raise price just to draw those people in, right? 6 minutes before the open, can we suck some people in to buying this? If we slowly raise price, will they follow us? Hey, trader, how you doing? Yeah, it's usually when they slam the bids. See if you can coax that early morning buyer who hasn't done his research. He's just following price. We want to try and coax him as high as we can, get him up here, and then just fill him. That would be good looking out, Matt. I'm very lazy. That it would be a good trade. He's thinking the look above and fail of the overnight high. That is valid. I'll buy that for $1. Yeah, and as always, just Fridays is all about keeping the money you made. So wait for the trade to happen, right? Oh, the other thing I was going to talk about, here we go. Obvious versus subtle trades. And that's going to be our next webinar. Obvious versus subtle trades. And how to know when to take them, right? How to know when to do each one. Yeah, I'm curious to see how this is going to open. We still have almost 4 minutes, right? So random. I would always think, when I hear when people say, "Oh, markets are random," you know, I always would wonder what would the penguin say if I missed a trade and he was out 200 grand and I said someone randomly came along and filled it before we could. It was just so random. He'd probably stab me in my eye with a pencil. Have you ever said that to a client? That markets are random. Oh my God. Like you can get away talking like that. It's funny. But you say that to somebody who's just missed a $500,000 trade because you screwed it up and then you say, oh, it's random. Oh my God. The penguin is your worst nightmare, Malo. The penguin uses people like they're tissues. Hey, trader, no, never heard of Taylor book method. Okay. The range is 64 points? Cool. Now, how do we make money off that? Right? How do we trade it? Never even heard of that. That's a new one. After 34 years. But then again, when you go and you look at like trading sections of a bookstore, oh my God, there's so much stuff now. Right? It's interesting. Anyway, we have sellers at 94. They stopped selling at 89. In the minute before the open, I am seeing bids at 90. I'm seeing bids at 90 quarter. I see a seller at 91. Oh yeah, there'll be some chop. See if we can lift the offer. Can we get a 92.5 print? Come on. Uh, couldn't sucker anybody to buy 92.5. Not yet. There we go. Off the open. Got him. Okay. So we're open. Let's see what we do here. If we get accepted over the overnight high, my friends, next stop up is 99, then 76.01 and a quarter, and then 2 and change. I know you want a short. If we can get under the open, much better chance of shorting. Maybe down to 88.5. Right now, there's an annoying bid at 93. Whoop, there we go. There's the look above. Should be a seller up at 99. There they are. Now, do we come underneath the overnight high? No, Matt, not just yet. Let them caramelize the onions up here, which means sell. See, there's some volume, right? That's all short covering. Once that short covering is over, if you sell that 95, I would put a lookout bid at 94.5. Because if you can't fill 94.5 bid on a short, it's not going to work, right? And if it sticks to 96s, just scratch the bastard. Just get out of it, right? The trade doesn't make any sense, right? On the look below and fail, because the look above and fail, because it hasn't failed. For it to fail, it needs to look above and come down under 95, right? Give it some time. Here we go again. We're going to test that 95 bid. A bit of a sticky place, but I'm not seeing a seller yet. I think we'll take 99. I think there'll be a seller somewhere at 99.75. So if you're a 97 buyer, make sure you sell them. Make sure you sell into this, right? Next stop, 76.01. Take your profits. Yes, they're the stops from the previous days, half-hour bars. Now, what if we got above 76.02? 4 3/4. No problem. It's 9 a.m. Do you know where your stops are? Sorry. Hope nobody gets seasick from moving these things around. Where are the stops? Someone keep an eye on this thing while I make sure I have the stops. That's good enough for now. Hopefully it doesn't get any higher than that. Yeah, William, the news cycle has been very, very, how do I say this and not sound like a tinfoil hat guy? Can I say suspicious? The timing of news these days seems highly suspicious. I hope I don't sound like a conspiracy theory nut job, but I just find it's like they get everybody short and then boing, or they get everybody long and then boing. But it's never real selling. It's just taking out all the swing traders, right? I don't know. I don't want to get into trouble. But lately, the timing of these news events are highly suspicious. The timing is just like, really? You didn't want to be a little bit more subtle about that, you know? Okay, we're looking for 76.01 and a quarter. And as I said, my friends, over 76.04 and three quarters, please be careful on the short side. We are slowly running out of inventory. Algo Stop Hunters. I like that. I think that'd be a good name for a TV show, trader. Tonight on Algo Stop Hunters, we go to Connecticut, where a trader at a hedge fund who hides in a closet programs the most vicious algos. I think it'd be funny. What the hell? Where would I go long? I've already gone long and gotten out of it. Sorry. I tend not to chase price, Pollux. I'll be looking for a look above and fail of 76.09 and a quarter and a half. For now, right in the middle of the zone, I tend not to screw around. You know? Earlier in the room, I took a short. Where was it? Yeah, it was here. I took a short here and I got stopped out. And then like an hour later, boom, the short worked. But since then, I've been noticing that the bid is moving higher. Now, Pollux, what's your risk appetite like on a Friday? Let's talk about this. Where would we get long? The best place to get long would be the look above, below and fail of 95. Why? Because that's the overnight high. Oh, okay. If your risk is 8 ticks, don't screw around. Have a Coke and a smile and relax. Or a coffee. Just chill. Wait for a trade at the edge, man. It feels like you're missing out on money, right? It feels like you're not making any money, and it's frustrating. Just work past that. Wait where you can do smart business. It's not your money to make right now because you're not positioned. Right, this move here is for those who are long 88 to 92, 500 to 1,000 contracts. You're losing them up here. Beautiful selling. Now we go on sale. Now, Pollux, you're an ex-market maker. What should you be doing now? On a liquidation, you are looking for today on the Learning Network at noon. Bid hunters, there you go. You know, now you're not buying, you're looking for the bid right now. You're liquidating. You're long 88 to 92 and you're selling it down. You're tapping it down until where somebody takes 50 or 100 and stays. And then you raise the offer. Know what I mean, man? If you fill them with 100 contracts and they drop 4 points, keep hitting it because you're competing. Right? I'm giving a lesson in market making here for those of you who are wondering what the hell I'm talking about. Right? Hey, Snowflake Trader. Someone's looking at the Dow. Cool. Geez, I haven't looked at the Dow since it was like 10,000. I remember they had hats for that. If we take out the open, Watch for a move back up over 96. If we can't get back up over 96, we're gonna come tickle that open. Boom, boom. Test will be 88, right? 88 to the downside. If you're long, you're looking for 94, 95. That's where the seller's going to be. I'm long 92, selling 94, selling 94 and a half, quarter. Thank you, I'm done. Quick scalp. Now, looking for 88 half. If we can't break these 89s and go tickle that 88, magically we'll start getting accepted over 94, 95. Milo, it's something I have done so many times. It's something I've screwed up 1,000 times when I was learning how to do it. It's all it is experience, right? It's nothing. There's nothing special to it. It's just doing it 1,000 times, and it becomes like breathing. Good business habits. Once you start practicing good business habits, it will become like a part of your life, right? It'll become like breathing. Just good common sense business. And you kind of know where the sellers are going to be, right? Because you know the sellers, anyone who's long here is going to be selling here. Why? If you were long 500 contracts at 92, you'd be selling the crap out of them at 93. Right? Exactly. Now you're cooking with gas, Milo. We came right back into the cost basis. Bingo. And we're still kind of futzing around in there. That was a nice distribution off the open. Right? The people who were long here underneath 89, they just sold a beautiful amount of contracts up here. Right? That will pay for their that will pay for, you know, the dentist for their polo pony. Sorry. No, that'll pay for the dentist who looks after their polo pony's teeth. Right? I had a client who used to have these polo horses, and he actually had a plane that he would fly them around the world in. They had their own plane. A horse with a plane. Who knew? Right? I guess, you know, when you got 600 million bucks, you got to spend it somehow. I don't know. So, okay, now watch out. Okay? This 95, we were talking about it earlier. If we stick this 95, things could get sticky for the shorts. There is a horse pilot out there somewhere. Did you know in the 1980s, when F. Ross Johnson ran RJR Nabisco, he had a German Shepherd that he would send a private plane for. The dog had his own plane. And on the passenger manifest it said G. Shepherd. I'm sure Lear knows this story. It's in the movie Barbarians at the Gate. Great movie. James Garner. Sticking the 95s, don't be short because you're not going to have a seller till here, 98. If we can stay under yesterday's high, it's better for the shorts. I don't know. Not a bad job, eh, Mike? I mean, just you got to sell a lot of Oreos to have a private plane for a dog. If you guys haven't noticed, I'm in a bit of a weird mood. It's Friday. It's really nice outside. So I got a couple of calls after this, and then I'm going to bolt. No, those damn Oreos, they've got some sort of addictive thing in them. Those and Pringles. See, I told you 98. Yeah, if you guys ever want to see a really good Wall Street movie, it's called Barbarians at the Gate. It's about the book by Brian Burroughs, I think. It's about the takeover of RJR Nabisco and how the Kravis brothers were these financial geniuses that used junk bonds in leveraged buyouts. Fascinating stuff. More distribution. You know what would be nice? And I always say this. If we could do one of these. Oh no, we're not done distributing, Milo. No, 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 no. Get back out there, Milo. We still have contracts to sell. No rest for the wicked. No, not yet. It hasn't moved up yet. Soon. I keep getting these like text messages from, you should learn how to gamble. Go to Ladbrokes, go to here. I'm like, I could lose enough money sitting in front of this screen. I don't need to go to a betting parlor. Yeah, it just popped now. So they're making good sales at 99. What I'm looking for is a rotation back down to 92. Maybe a look above and fail of 7,600. I don't want it to go trend day, right? I hate trend day Fridays. If this thing goes trend on a Friday, I'm going to the beach. Uh, that 7605 area, if we take that out, it's going to force a lot of people to start covering. When was the last time we had a good liquidation on a Friday? You know where this markup thing comes on, right? It's you know how I tell you guys how to always keep the money that you made that week? You know? I always say, keep the money that you made that week. Well, marking up price at the end of the week shows the people who bought on Monday and Tuesday they should feel smart. Okay, good. There's still a seller. There's still a seller. Now, say we short that back down. Sorry, 1 second. It's got to stay under 7,600. So if I'm selling, yeah, I'm not selling it yet. No. I need it to come down and stay underneath here. I'm not going to short it until it does that. No, wait. Not interested. Right. Yeah, pretty much, Milo. The short is going to feel like you're a little late. Now, the problem is that we're at the high of the week. So you're shorting the high of the week. So I would like to wait for the next candle to open and confirm that we're going to stay under 7,600. That would be nice. Like when you're doing this and you're drawing, right? Where did I have that level? Was it 70? Was it here? I can't even remember now. Right. So say you're selling this area. Your stop is just right where they right here. Right. So I was futzing around, I actually didn't take the trade. Good thing too, because it only went down really quickly. I would have had to have been really quick. And it really did not accept underneath 7,600. So wait. Just wait. Waiting for business to be in your favor. That's what it's all about, right? A lot of my best trades always feel like I'm a little late. You know, I always feel like I'm late. Yeah, but he doesn't never tells you what to change, right? And they all say they're always like that. They're a little cryptic, right? I mean, I love them, but they're cryptic. You're waiting for change. What exactly are you talking about? Well, you're talking about the offer. Yeah, oh sorry, Milo, that is the bid. It should be blue. I should have put that blue, right? Or maybe green, something that stands out a bit there. That's the bid. That's where they stopped selling and lifted price. So what is the change you are looking for? The change you are looking for is are the prices being put on sale, or are prices being lifted because there's a bunch of suckers running in to buy? That's the change. So right now, they're not getting my money. Not until it becomes obvious. It's Friday. I'm in a goofy mood. I will not trade this until there's an obvious trade. Like I just tried to trade 7,600 to the short side. I couldn't get it. Could not get it. Couldn't get a fill. I was right, but I was slow. Now let's see where that bid is. We know there's a bid at 98.99. It's going to pop up and they're going to sell into it. When they sell into it, that's when you short. Where you're going to put your buy orders to cover, try 94, 96 for your lookout bids, right? And your stop is the top of that candle. Now let's see if that 7,600 seller is there. Good. If they are, that's a good thing. If they're not, we're going to go right back to 2, and it's going to be a big pain in the butt. Come on, sell. Be normal. Be normal. Rotate. Come down to 96. There you go. Right? So if you are shorting this, put your buy orders in. Because don't wait for a cover. Now look, that candle can't get down to the green line. There's a tell. Look, right there. If you're short, that's not a good sign. See? The lows are getting higher above the bid. Now you are in trouble if you're short. Did I not say that's exactly how you play it? Right? So Milo, they didn't have to sell it under that green line. We looked underneath it, and had I not been thinking short, had I been open-minded and on the ball, I would have been buyer at 99, seller at 2. But that is a subtle trade. And that's a subtle trade that I was not disciplined enough to see. So on the subtle trades like that, it's okay if you miss them. You know, it's completely fine if you miss those trades because you're not supposed to make money when you're like half asleep or when you're lazy. You got to be dialed in, man. You got to be really dialed in, right? And if you're not dialed in, just stick to the obvious trades. Here's a little secret, Milo. We're always distributing. Don't tell anyone. Right? We're always distributing. Just don't tell anyone. Because they never ask who sold you that contract. It was us. So if you're long 7,600, what are you doing now? You're selling them like you stole them. There you go. We take out that 4.5, 5. We're looking for 7 3/4. It could. I won't say if it will for sure, but it could. We've got bids at 7,600 now. Let's see. No, there's a seller at 4. There's a seller at 4. Not aggressive, but there's competition at 4. Give it some time. If we come back under 7601, then you'll be looking for bids. If you're short, you're looking for bids at 98 again, 99. It's hard to trade just one candle. You got to really be sharp. You know, as the end of our session has come, you know, the middle of our session here, not the end, right? When I start to get tired or if I start getting a bit lazy, I'll stop execute. I won't trade because it's in this market. It's just so easy to make a mistake and then have bad judgment behind the mistake. Especially when you get tired, you'll start making mistakes. That's why a lot of traders give back the money that they made earlier in the session because they just keep trading and trading and trading, and their cognitive is just dropped. They're tired, right? And then they just start trading on adrenaline, right? 10 a.m. rug pull, I think that would be a wonderful idea. I'll buy that for $1. That bid's annoying, eh, Milo? Look at that. There it is. Every time we get close. Boom, boom, boom. It's crazy. And let's see if they sell into it again. Double top. Double top. Gotta love it. See if that can break. There we go. Now, do we get any oomph? If you're long the breakout, you should be selling into this. If you bought the 3, 4s, you should be selling the 5s because everybody else is. Everybody else is. This is when you sell into a breakout, right? It's nice liquidity. Now, if the suckers keep coming, don't be afraid to sell them. If you got them, sell them. Because once we get back under 3, nobody's going to want to buy it. Oof. Competition at 5/4. Competition at 5/4. If we lose that 3 bid, it's going to get complicated. Look at them come. That's all short covering. 900 contracts. Come on. Here we go. Can we get up to 7 3/4? Oh, big push. Oh, no, they sold into it. Too much competition. Too much competition. A bull trap. That's another term you guys have, right? Traps. Come on. Oh. That's why I told you to sell into it. Most breakouts, you should go ask you the AI. What is the percentage of breakouts that actually fail versus percentage of breakouts that actually pop? Go back and look at on a half-hour chart. You know. Hey Keith, what's going on? I'd be a much more willing short under 76 or 75.98. If we could take out these bids here, I'd be much more inclined to short this thing. Right here, yeah, I don't think so. I'll wait. Good stuff, Keith. I think I got your message. Yeah. Let me know when you have time. If it's the right Keith, I think. Oh, let's see. There's that 3 bid. Every time we take a stop, like every time we have a breakout, do you guys remember the theme song from Sugar Crisp? That sugary cereal, and they had the sugar bear that did the thing. Can't get enough of that sugar crisp. That's what I think. Because every time there's a breakout, I just want to sell tons of stock into it or tons of contracts, you know? Just fill every single bid that comes in. It's such a beautiful liquidity creation event, you know? A breakout is just a beautiful opportunity because what you're hoping for is you're lugging this inventory, right? You got 1,000 contracts and you're just lugging them and you're holding them and they're getting heavy. And then all of a sudden you get a breakout, even if it's like six ticks, and you just dump it in and you're just like, oh, I'm flat. Oh, thank you. Right? It's like Yogi Bear stealing picnic baskets. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, here we go. Come on. Give me an offer. Don't you pull the bid again. Come on, come on, come on, come on. See, there again. Eric, break. If you are short and it breaks 98, put some bids at 96. Now, when the next candle opens in 20 seconds, let's hope the high of that candle doesn't take out this level here. So we need that seller. We need that seller. Come on. Oh, you dirty, rotten little. Come on. That is one. There we go. There's the break. Covering 97. Flat. But I front ran the overnight high because I knew, because I was short right here. Stop here. But I had my buy orders in because I know we're not going to get down. The way it's trading, we're not going to get down to 98 on the first touch. So I got to take them back quick, man. Got to take them back quick. This is a good distribution. I mean, they're getting rid of some nice volume up here. Decent. Look at A period. 98,000 contracts and 25,000 so far in the first 10 minutes. That's nice, especially if you were long 75.78 to 75.86 and you're getting rid of them here. That's a nice Friday. Now LC you can buy a new polo mallet and one of those funny hats that you guys wear when you play polo. It's not bad. You know, if you catch a couple of nice ones, just don't overtrade this, right? Don't overtrade it where you get lazy. Because what happens is people they trade, they make a couple of grand, and then they start getting like brave. They get brave, they get lazy, they start making mistakes. Right? So remember always, when you fall prey to error, you become prey. You don't want to be prey. That's exactly what I've been doing. But not in a traditional sense, Milo, because I would really love this to happen. Right now, we've got kind of a different box going right now. Check this out. This is really our box right now. right? Now, had I been on the ball, I would have done that about 10 minutes ago. Yeah, you're right, Moran. You're right. Yeah, just trade it back and forth. It's not bad. 99 to, there's, even if you clip 3 points each way, you clip 3 points 4 times, that's 12 points on a couple of e-minis back and forth. You're doing okay. You're doing okay. Yeah. Yeah, just trade the range. And when it's in the middle of the range, take a break. Like right now, Milo, if the candles start getting really small, just relax. Yeah, leave it alone. Just wait for the edge. It's telling you, hey, kid, do business here. Don't do business here. All you got to do is listen to the chart. You know. And the other thing too is to remember is that execution is a lifelong thing. Even traders who have been traders for 30 years, 40 years, some days they're not going to execute amazingly well. Everyone has a bad day and off day. Sometimes the order flow changes, you don't read it correctly. Just relax, you know? Goodness. Here we go. So that bid, see the bid underneath 96, that's just all from short sellers. So while it's been there for a while, after a while, the sellers who are long sellers will eventually come and fill that bid, right? So there's the bid. It comes into play again. And say you are long, looking for sellers just here at 99, 98, 99, right there. So if you bought 96, sell 98. If we get back above 98, 99, we can take a long back up to here, to 2. See? Watch the offer. I'm thinking lower too, but the offer is telling me not just yet. Not just yet. On this green candle, I'm looking to see where they sell into it. Aha, there's the seller right there. 99 and 3/4. So say I was short. I know where the sellers are. If that 99 and 3/4 offer lifts, then I know to get out of my short. If I'm looking to go long, I won't go long until we clear 99 and 3/4. Make sense? Like here, right? Let the candle close. And then the next candle, let's see if we can take out that level. If we can't take that level out, you're right, it will rotate back down. Watch. See, there's sellers right there. It just moved down 2 ticks. Oh, now you can buy it. And you're looking to be a seller at 1 3/4, 2. If you can't sell them at 3/4, sell them at a half. I'm selling them at 3/4. I'm flat. Pretty simple, eh, Milo? We just walked you through it step by step. All right? Yeah. I bought it because we offered above where I said, right? Yeah. If you rewind, I told you I used this candle to tell me where the seller was. Once we cleared that seller, I went long, but I popped it out because I knew there'd be another seller there. I mean, it wasn't a huge trade. It was like maybe 6 ticks, right? 6, 7 ticks. But it's just the mechanics that I was trying to convey. It's basically the look below and fail. Now it's starting to get choppy, right? So a lot of inventory. We parked a lot of inventory up here, right? We suckered a lot of poor people into buying 7,600 to 7,604. So now if we start taking out, if we take out the open and we take out that A low, you'll see a lot more selling, probably down to 78. But as long as this thing comes and bids, it bids, it bids, it bids. You know, it's every time we come down here, it bids. They'll keep selling it. The reason is if the buyers keep coming in, why the hell would I lower price? Right? Hey, they're willing to pay 7,600. They're willing to pay 75.98. Why would I sell it at 75.93 if these guys are going to pay 98? It's pretty simple business. It's not at all complicated. Oh. Anybody have any questions? So folks, if you want to learn how to trade with some common sense and start making some money, you know, if you want to learn how the business works so you can finally go into things with your eyes wide open, please come and check out tradingsyndicate.org. We would love to help you out. At the end of the day, when they're transferring paper between accounts, how is it decided if they offer out and get a bit for the transfer? Mihai, I don't understand the question. right? Hey, Anne Marie, sorry I didn't see you there. Right. You always look for the offer because the offer is telling you if they're putting it on sale or not. Sorry, Mihai, I don't understand the question. At the end of the day, when they're transferring paper, how is decided if they offer out and get taken or they bid and get taken? Well, it depends. If they're long, they need to sell. If they're short, they need to cover. I hope I'm answering the right way. For example, if you put what you made for your customer in the account, yeah, that's just a bookkeeping entry, Mihai. That's all it is. Friend of team. What's trading FBD? And who's Tim T? Oh, welcome. Good to have you with us. So, Mihai, what you're talking about is a bookkeeping entry in the brokerage firm from one account to another, from dealer inventory into a client account. It's done electronically. Yeah, the 1 minute candle will show you where the buyers are because when the sellers see the buyers, they will raise price because that's just how business works. If you see a lot of buyers, you raise price. If you see no buyers, you lower price. Sorry, Sam, I'm not sure what FBD is, but good to meet you. Oh, wrong message. Anyway, folks, if that's it, I'm going to hop a little early here. I got some calls to do. You guys have a great weekend. Have a wonderful weekend. Trade safe out there. Don't overtrade. And we will see you fresh and early on Monday. Have a great weekend. Thanks for being with me. Bye for now.